So we are now recording. Um, so just to touch on what we just went over, just to catch up those people that are joining us through the recording. We're just talking about, or Sarah raised, the importance of doing a rent planner at the right time, and that right time is after the 15th of the month, and that's because of the free product of the month being on the 15th of each month, because most people that are on LRP will do the free product of the month on or before the 15th because you get the free product, right? So that really gives us a good indicator where that sustainable volume is in our organization and where we need to invest our energy halfway through the month. Another important thing is whether they do it halfway through the month is because so there's enough time for the remainder of the month to be able to inject your energy where volume is required. And I mean, you still want to be aligning, and this is going on to placement strategy. You still want to be putting people where they should be planted. You're not just patching holes. So as you do your rank planner and you find, say you're going for a premier and you have one really strong leg and then you have one weaker leg that you want to get moving, right? And let's just say that your stronger leg, naturally there's going to be more people, more momentum in that leg because there's already people loving and using the oils in there, and then you might be doing events in that that first or that second leg, that strong leg, and it's really tempting to just go, oh, you know what, I'll just nip some volume into that that other leg of mine, the weaker leg, just to get it up and get me to premier. And it's important to continue to grow people where they should be planted and not just patch holes in the volume, because that's not a sustainable way to build your organization, and it's kind of duping people as well. It's not doing the right thing by others and putting them where they should be aligned. But in the same token, there is a reason why we highlight where we do need to put our energy, and possibly doing things like just simply reaching out, following up, getting in contact with people in that weaker part of your organization where you do need to create some volume, or maybe even creating new leads and putting new leads into that weaker part of your organization, doing workshops, encourage them to share and do referrals with you, and just getting more momentum and enrollments in the weaker parts of your organization where you need it. And as well as just seeing where you need to be injecting your energy and volume into your organization, it's also a really good way to check in with your team as well, because you need to be working with your team to be able to rise up through the ranks and levels and build your community. So when you check in with your volume, you're actually checking your team's volume as well, not as in greater detail, but it's a really good opportunity when you do your rank planner for the month after the 15th of each month. You actually, and you don't have to do them every single month, but I do encourage to do them at least every couple of months, especially when you're going for a rank advancement or you're feeling a little bit stuck. It's like, okay, this rank advancement's not happening. Why am I going wrong? And it really highlights what you need to do to get your organization to the next level. But when you go through your rank planner and you see where the volume needs to be created, who you need to encourage, who you need to work with, then that gives you the opportunity to go through a rank planner with your downline and with your team. So not everybody is into rank planners. This is just going off my experience. And even Renee's not a rank planner person. I'm a rank planner person. Renee's not a rank planner person. I love that there is a structure there that's got the perfect affirmation statement. It highlights the things that you need to do. It shows the volume of your organization and your legs, and exactly where you need to put some effort in. It also sets some really good goals and objectives to work towards. So in saying that, and not everybody in your team is going to be into rank planners, it doesn't stop you from doing a rank planner for them. And sometimes this is what Renee does, and this is what Renee also does for other people in our team. And it just goes to show that if different things resonate with different people, because she's not a rank planner person. People that aren't rank planner people tend to gravitate and work better with Renee because they speak the same language, and they just get a blank piece of paper and they just write down names and volume, which is essentially the same as a rank planner, except rank planner is just more structured, and it's a real simple to follow guide. So what I will do is I'll bring up a rank planner, and I'll do a Premier rank planner, because I think it'd be beneficial just to see how to do them for everybody who's joined us tonight. I know Sarah's done one. Have you done a rank planner at all yet, Abby?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, hopefully this will be a life-changing experience for you. So on our Google Drive, under Share Success, there's a folder called Rank Planners 2017, and I've actually created some with fields, so you can do them on your computer. As long as you have Adobe Reader, then you can fill out a rank. Hey, Laurie, how you doing? Then you can fill it out online. So I'm going to do a Premier planner, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And I'm going to say desktop 1. That looks a bit weird. How does that look for you guys? Can you actually see that?
Yep,
planner?
I can see that really well. Yep.
Excellent. Okay, cool. So I've gone the Premier planner, just because it's kind of when you need to be mindful of volume. It's the first rank where you need to be mindful of volume and where it is. And this is why it's so important to get structuring right from the beginning. And not necessarily that Premier will be your first goal to work towards. Usually it's elite, but you can get to elite with no structure at all. So you could just have a bunch of people on your top line and you could be elite. You could also be a one-man elite and just spend 3,000 OV in 1 month and go, hey, I'm elite. But Premier that doesn't happen very often. So this is kind of where it all begins at Premier, and why I like to always bring it back to Premier as that first target. So love how we can set an affirmation of I am Premier on or before, I'm just going to say 31st of the 12th, 2017. And affirmations, they all need to be anchored with an emotion. So I'm going to say freaking amazing. Get what I'm talking about. So why you share doTERRA Natural Solutions products and lifestyle. This is a personal thing. For me, sleep, etc. Blah blah blah. But it's a really good opportunity. This is why I love the rank planner, because it brings you back to the things that are important, and the why. Once again, to revisit the why, we should be revisiting that, because this will change over time. It might be when you first start out, just a surface level, I really liked wild orange, and that's okay. You can say to people, I really like wild orange. Why is that? One of the techniques that I've heard some of the leaders use, I feel can be a bit confronting, and there's a lot of pressure when you do this, but they just keep on asking that question. Well, why? Why do you like wild orange? Well, I like wild orange because it makes me feel good. Why does it make you feel good? Well, usually I feel kind of depressed when I'm at work, and Wild Orange really picks me up. And then they're like, wow, okay, cool. That's something that's of essence that can really hit home with people. I love Wild Orange was amazing at supporting me with depression. It could be something that could come out of it. Just revisiting why and just really thinking about it. It's a good time to do it when you're assessing your goals and what you're working towards. So personal goals could be financial freedom. Oops, that's really bad spelling. I'm not going to say freedom because freedom and independence are two different things. So freedom, that's, you're just letting go completely of your responsibility of having money. So independence is more something that's just more apt. But anyway, that's a side project. Financial independence can be one of them. And we just keep on going. Personal development focus. I'm going to focus on learning how to deal with no's. So that could be something that you could be working on, right? And you could do that with tapping, with reading, etc. So down to the nitty gritty, and you don't have to revisit this every single month either. I recommend doing it, but this is where the action happens, where you can actually look at a structure and see where the volume requirements are needed. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull up my back office, because I'm going to use an unsuspecting example. Do any of you guys want to be an example for me?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
cool.
I should have given the other girls. Laurie, Abby.
You snooze, you lose.
I've only got 2 people under me, so I'm probably not a very good example.
I think Sarah's a really good example, and I appreciate you guys allowing us to do that for Sarah, because she is elite, and the next target is obviously going to be Premier, right? So this is a cool little thing you can actually do. So you guys can see my screen still.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the organization. So you can go to enroll on ID or name, and you can type in, I'm just going to type in Sarah's last name, and it's not there. Sarah. Was it there?
Yeah, number second one.
Was it? And now it's thinking. Anyway, sorry computer, sorry to upset you. There we go. So
But please don't anybody look at my placements. Okay.
This is good.
Just ignore where everybody is, and just
Close your eyes.
Just do the rank planning.
Yeah. Look, just a really important thing with placements is acceptance. There's a lot of practice of acceptance, because it's the best thing you can do sometimes. You just go with your intuition and what's best, and sometimes there's some acceptance involved. If your organization is deeper than 4 levels, go to this little guy here, number 4, and you can go down to 9 levels and say update. And you can see Sarah's tree just updated and just went down 1 level. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to flick this over that side and flick that over that side like so we can get a little split screen happening. And Sarah, you're going to tell me I'm going to guess, and I'm going to say this person here and this person here are your 2 builders.
Yeah, you are correct. Yep.
Awesome. So it looks like a pretty solid structure to me. So I'm going to say Beck Penfold. It's Penfolds or Penfold? Penfold?
That's correct. Yep.
Awesome. They've even got some checkboxes here for reviewing Beck's elite planner with her. So let's just say, yep, you've reviewed Beck's elite rank planner with her. Perhaps she hasn't done the launch challenge, so we're just going to leave that unticked. So this is how you look at the volume. I go to Beck, and then her little window pops up here. And right now we can see for this period, her volume over this period, her team volume is 359. Sorry, this is is it 99? Anyway.
I think it's 359, Byron.
359, is it? So it's really small on my screen.
Really, really small. Tiny. Yep.
So 359. But this is 6. Oh, you know what? So this is the power through. So this is the power through section down here. What this actually means is when you're going for power through, you know how you have to get 600 PV between yourself and your first line.
Yeah.
That's where that team volume is. So her actual team volume, which we can read a bit easier, is 676. Yeah.
Okay,
so that's for the current period. But what it's important to do is to look at your average volume over the last 3 months, which you can easily do by going back. So we've got 584 there in October. And we go back to September, and we got 412. So I just averaged that out over that period. So we got 400, 500, 676. So we've got a steady rise, which is that's what you want to be seeing in your organization. A steady rise is a beautiful thing. So I'm just going to say, just for, average sakes, I know we're sitting at 676 at the moment, but given our previous months, I'm just going to say 600. So the volume needed is 1,400. And you divide that by 500, let's just say it's 3, we'll just round it up and say 3 classes. That's just give you an idea of how many classes would be needed in that leg. And it doesn't just necessarily need to be with Beck. It could be your own, or it could be with any of these people down here as well. Remember, these people are the ones that are getting 20% of whatever the commissions are from those events.
Sorry, Byron, just to clarify, so today is what date? It's the 14th of November. So if we were making these calculations, this would be to calculate Premiere by the 31st of November, because we put up the top the 31st of December. So but the calculations is actually for the remainder of this month, isn't it? It's not actually from now
correct.
until
Sorry.
December.
This is a little misleading. I'm glad you mentioned that. So, and this could be the case when you're doing a Premiere planner or any rank planner, is you could, this is the case with any goal, right? You set the bar. You can set the bar way too high and not achieve it, or you can set it something that's realistic, but it's going to give you a push. You can also make it realistic by saying, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going for it this month, but I know, if I hit it, awesome. What my goal is in December, and it's only going to be steps towards hitting that goal in the long term anyway. But just to reduce confusion, this is volume for the month that you're filling the rank planner out for. So it's each month you start from scratch. Renee and I, we're consultants just like you guys are at the start of each month. So classes schedule gives you an opportunity to just go and write the names of the people you're scheduled with. That's awesome. You can even have one-on-ones. So some people might have 10 one-on-ones, and no classes. That's okay. However you run your business, that's cool. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So we go over to our Builder 2 now, and we got Jen Rydell, and we're going to click on her, and we have some big volume there. So we have one leg that's a little stronger, and this happens. This is really normal. This was definitely the case for Renee and I, especially when we were silver. We had one builder that we were working with, that was Margie, and this was a year after we enrolled that we met Margie, and we worked through Diamond Club, our first Diamond Club, with her, and we just had this really strong Margie leg, which is fine, but it did identify where we needed to put our energy and effort in some of our other legs as well. So we've got in October, we've got 1,800, and in September, we've got 600. So it's a big jump there. And I think that's, would I be right in saying, Sarah, that Jen has only is just started to do the business a little bit more in October? Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Okay, so writing's on the wall there. We've got 1,800, which is awesome and so close. And, we have nearly 1,500. So I think it's pretty safe to say that, we can put an average of 1,500 there. And it's probably, in reality, it's probably going to get back up to 1,800 or 1,600. So let's be the optimist here and say 1,600, 400 needed. And let's just say there's one class. And then we're going to put Jen's name up here. Is that right? And let's just say, so it gives you a good opportunity to check out the Power of Three too. So to do Power of Three, you simply just click on one of these markers here. So if I go 50 for Jen, then it brings up a filtered view of her Power of Three. So she could be getting Power of Three because, as you saw, she had 600 volume between her and a top line, but she doesn't have 3 people on her top line doing Power of Three. If this third person here was to do a 100 PVRP, then she'd be getting the US $50 bonus per month, which is great.
Yep. Okay.
And it's something you can show her how to get, right? You're not doing it for her. You're not putting people on her top line to get her the Power of Three over building 2 legs. That's really important. But you are showing her how she can get herself the Power of Three. Just going to go back to your organization there, Sarah, just in case I've missed anything. So you go through putting your classes, and they could be with some of these people here that are in Jen's downline. So you're approaching those people. You can earn your products for free. You can get 20% of what anybody buys for your workshop or your class. And then you may have some extra classes. So let's just say, look, I've got
I have classes scheduled. I have classes scheduled in another sharer who is not in either of those legs. So fantastic. I'm sort of kind of juggling how much, about like overall volume, is 5,000,
That's right, exactly. So that's also this little calculation down here. So Premier is the only, just to make it a little confusing for people starting out with the rank planners, Premier is the only rank that has a different overall volume than the amount of volume required in the legs. So Premier needs 2 legs of 2,000, but an overall volume of 5,000. Silver needs an overall volume of 9,000 and 3,000 in 3 legs. And that's the same for each rank after Silver. It's just Premier that has a different overall volume. So let's just say this new sharer, maybe they'll ideally be planted and grow under Beck's leg. I mean, that'd be great. And we would have put them under, say, Ashley or under wherever she would be best planted. Let's just say it's going to be in there. So that's going to help with volume. That'll be brilliant. So leg 1, scheduled volume. We said that there was,
1,400, I think, was it?
So scheduled volume was 600 plus.
Oh, I see.
Minus that. So 600 plus 400. Oops, no, that's not right. Leg 1 scheduled volume is 600, yes. And this one is 1,600. pretty sure this is how it works. I haven't actually done this version of the rank planner. It's only new. So 600 plus 1600, 2200 minus 5000, 2800. So that's the volume needed, 2800 across the whole organization. Yeah.
Yep.
So we can anticipate that we will safely get 600, and we'll safely get 1600 and 600 in both of those legs. This is the volume needed in each of the legs, but then this little calculation here calculates that overall volume that's required. And then a way you can also look at that is by looking at Sarah herself and going, cool, let's have a look at how much volume Sarah has had in the last 3 months. And we'll go back to September. We got 2,400. We go to October, and we got a big jump. We're nearly at 3,800. So, 1,200 after everybody's put in all their orders, and it's not just those 2 legs. So for Sarah, it's going to be a little easier to hit Premier with the overall volume requirement, because she does have a couple of other people in her organization and not just 2 legs. And I'm not saying that it's that's something that you should work towards, but it's only natural. You're going to have a couple of people on your top line, or maybe in a smaller 3rd leg or something like that, and that will contribute towards that 5,000 organizational volume that you need. Also, this has a good little prompt down here for enrollment incentives. So just touching on that, there was some communication in the Diamonds and Above Facebook group, and the general manager commented on some questions that people have been asking about enrollment incentive. It's generally frowned upon. And when I say frowned upon, I'm not sure if it's actually against policy. They do say, you can't say anybody who enrolls gets this free product. So that's something that doTERRA doesn't want people to do. They're happy for people to offer a free product or an incentive for people to go onto the loyalty rewards program or something like that. But they don't want people to do it for enrollment, because it's kind of, it's not a genuine connection with somebody, and people are choosing to align with people for the sake of free stuff. So I've recently had somebody contact me and say, look, I met you at the markets. I want to get these oils. This lady has offered me this, this, and this. And I was just like, if that's, I can offer us support and a great community and this and that and the other, I'd be losing out if I gave you that. So, if that's what you're after, then just go with that person. So just be aware of that. And there's just an idea of what you can do. So in groups, and for example, in our Spoil Yourself promo that we're doing, we could, because it's it's in a closed group, we could say anybody who enrolls gets a free Modern Essentials book or something like that, right? But I couldn't go out onto my public Facebook page and just say, hey, anybody who enrolls gets a free whale diffuser. That would, people will, if everybody knew what the whale diffuser was, who wasn't in the doTERRA community, if everyone was aware that they're really desired, and there would be people, then they're willing to just come and get an enrollment with me just because I'm giving away a free whale diffuser. So when you connect with people at an event, do some enrollment incentives. Offer a keychain, something that you can afford, or maybe even a service. It could be a wellness consult, or it could be your free wild orange, something like that. So just have a little think. We actually use that for our wild orange. We say anybody who gets a kit tonight, they get to walk away with this free wild orange, because we want to make sure you're getting an oil that you can use straight away, and then the rest will be posted to you. That's just a little idea of what you can do with those wild oranges, rather than just giving them to anybody who shows up. Completely your choice what you want to do with your wild orange. It's just an idea. Book a class incentive, very important. Booking classes from classes is one of the best and fastest ways that you will grow your organization and your team. So for us, we do host goodie bags. And we say, if anybody has found the information useful and feel that their loved ones or friends could benefit from the information that we shared tonight, we'd love to host a workshop with you, and you get 20% of what anybody buys on the day. And we'll also give you this host goodie bag tonight that you can use yourself. There's just some samples and some other gifts in there for you. And that's a really good incentive. People are just like, yeah, I want a goodie bag. Let's book in a date straight away. So that's another good reason why the Rank Planner is so good. So does anybody have any questions about that Rank Planner at all? No. Okay.
No, I think that's clear. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So I suggest getting into that habit of doing your rank planners. It doesn't have to be monthly, but at the time when you have an intention to rank advance, or you're helping your team rank advance, it really gets people into that habit of looking at their tree, which you need to do anyway. It's necessary to look at your tree, but when it's documented and it's in this clear format of exactly what you need to do, we've just really gotten down to where Sarah needs to put her energy here. She needs 1,400 volume in one of her legs, and she needs to do 2 or 3 workshops in those legs, or she could do 2 workshops and 3 one-on-ones, or 5 one-on-ones, something like that. It really gets down to the nitty-gritty of what you need to do to get you up to that next rank, and that's why I love them. So we'll definitely need to be doing these leading up to the Spoil Yourself promo. So in the next week, this week after the 15th, even towards the end of this week, take a look at your tree, look at the volume over the last 3 months, and track where you need to put your energy, where you're going to have to put your enrollments, because we begin to be getting lots of enrollments from the Spoil Yourself promo. Remember, people do things in groups, and there's going to be a lot of momentum around enrollments, and people are going to want to get kits. So you're going to want to know where to put them in your organization. And this is the best way to see where you need to put them.
Byron, can I just ask, just from bringing it back to basics, because sorry, I missed the beginning and it just cut out a second ago. If I'm starting, obviously I'm starting at the bare minimum. If I, say, for example, had a couple more enrollments through the promo next week, should I start working on just my first leg first and then branch out to a second leg?
Yeah, absolutely. So it depends on if you have a second leg to work with, right? If you only have one leg to work with to start with, then yeah, just work with that leg. There are a couple of strategies around starting your second leg, and it could just be, waiting until somebody, who is at least going to do 100 PV LRP goes into a position on your top line, or having a ghost account, or a standby account, somebody who is in account that you will be able to transfer out in the future. Or you could just go, you know what, rather than flatlining out on your top line, which is probably the worst thing to do, is if you have somebody who's not on LRP on your top line, and maybe not even is ever going to do LRP, and they might not even reorder, it's okay to still build underneath them. It doesn't mean that they're going to be your ranking person in the future, or even now. That's okay. It's just volume. It's just volume, no matter where they are in each of those legs. That's why, like, chains going down in 2 legs is a lot more powerful than just flatlining out at 1 level, at 2 levels, at 3 levels. Going further than 2 lines to begin with, you lose the focused volume that just goes up. And
So the only negative to them not being a person on that top level having an LRP going on is they're just not going to be getting the commissions.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But if they're not getting them, that still means because we're the one, we would still be getting them though, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can't actually qualify off that person if they're not doing a 100 PV order as well. So they don't need to be on an LRP. It just needs to be 100 PV through an account to qualify for a rank. So this is, something to be aware of for your monthly commissions. So anything apart from Fast Start, and I think you asked this on our group today, Laurie, or the other day, about Fast Start and monthly commissions. When do we have to have 100 PV in, or when does 100 PV have to be ordered or processed? It can be 100 PV in 2 orders, 3 orders, an LRP, a standard order, multiple LRPs or standard orders to qualify for that monthly commission. To earn the Fast Start bonus and the Power of 3, it has to be 100 PV LRP template. And for the Fast Start, it needs to be 100 PV LRP template in place at all times. For the LRP, it just has...
That's in place for us to get that. That doesn't mean the people underneath have to have that, though.
Exactly. Yep. And the Power of 3, it can also be multiple LRP. So if you have, this is something, everybody does, Renee and I do this. If we have somebody in our organization who's in a Power of 3 position who, just put through 60 PV this month or every month, then we just put an LRP order through their account of 40 PV to get them up to 100 PV. And that's well worth it to be able to get a bonus like, say 250 PV. If you're just doing 250 US dollars, if you're just getting the $50 Power of 3 bonus, it's probably not worthwhile you investing into it because you're only getting the $50. Like that example we looked at before for Jen Rydell, she has 2 people on LRP on a top line. She has the volume requirements over 600 between her and a top line. And then if she was like, right, well, that person underneath me, if I put 100 PV LRP order through her account, then she's going to be spending $120 to make $60 to $70 because it's US, right? US $50. If she was still going to place an order and she was going to put it through her account, she's more wise to put it through the account below her to get the Power of 3 because she's getting $60 to $70 and she was going to place the order anyway. So this is why we look to where we can place orders down the line from ourselves rather than all through ourselves. So this is for stock we might be sampling or reselling retail. So that's just a strategy that you can help get Power of 3 out.
In that instance as well, if you're starting to put LRP orders through online, they would start getting the points back on their monthly accruing them. So would that then be an incentive for them to start seeing the benefits of their own LRP orders?
In terms of commission, if they are just sitting on your top line, for example, and there's somebody who, in this hypothetical, they weren't on LRP, but you still started building underneath them, and they may not necessarily ever build the business. If they're doing 100 PV LRP, then they're going to get a generous commission if you continue to build underneath them. And it might not necessarily be with them, but with somebody else who is actively building the business. They will benefit because they are upline. And it doesn't mean that you stop benefiting. It just actually gives them the opportunity to wake up to the opportunity that they can make an income out of just sharing doTERRA or working with you. Perhaps they might not ever be a full-time sharer or builder, and that's okay. And you'll actually get more commission if they are on LRP than if they weren't. And the reason being is because you get paid a higher percentage the lower you go down in your organization. You get paid up to 7% on your 7th level. and you're going to have more volume on your 7th level than you will like on your, your first, your second, third level. So by them having an LRP, it's an everybody wins situation.
Byron, can I just ask a question about putting through the LRP on someone else's account? Would that involve actually reaching out to them and having that discussion and then getting them to do it? Or can you physically do that on their behalf?
Yeah. So good question. And it's important to get their permission first. I don't want you guys to hack into anybody's account. So ask them. The way that I explain it, Renee and I explain it, is we just say, as you know, I'm doing this as a business and I have certain volume requirements. And would you mind if I logged into your account and placed an order with my credit card details, and you'll earn the points from that order? So that they can see that they're actually going to be benefiting from you, putting that LRP order in. They're going to get the points from it, but you're the one who's paying. So that's the main two things that they're going to be concerned about. Just logging into my account, using my credit card. No, I'm using my credit card, having it shipped to me, but you get the points. So everyone benefits.
Okay.
And then we just log into their account once they give us the details, put our credit card in, put our address in, and then place the order.
Make sure you click the do not save your credit card details.
Yes. Or remove the credit card after you've placed it. So that's what we do. So you have to actually add a credit card, and then you process your LRP and remove the LRP as well. So go back in, cancel the LRP that you created and processed, and then remove your credit card. So that's a little strategy around getting volume requirements and getting yourself the power free when you're close enough that it's worthwhile investing, or you're going to place the order anyway. Cool, guys. Well, we've gone a little bit over, but it is a pretty in-depth conversation anyway. So hopefully you guys got something out of that. And
I have one more question. Sorry, I know you've already probably said it, but as I said, I missed the beginning.
That's okay.
Where do we find that?
Yes. Okay. So the rank planners, you can get them on sharesuccess.com, or you can get them on our Google Drive. And I know people have a couple of issues getting to our Google Drive. So I'm going to show you. Are they on the USB? They're on the USB too. Yep. Oh. On the USB, on the Google Drive. You can get to the Google Drive most easily by just searching Google Drive in our ShareBuild group, and then you'll have the link there. But sharesuccess.com, they've got them. They don't have the Fandangle fields that I just used. The ones that are on the USB and in our Google Drive, I've created the fields so you can do them all online. But yeah, if you're a pen person, you're going to print it out anyway. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I might end the meeting there.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Yes.
I'll see you tomorrow. Are you around, Byron? Are you doing the sample thing, or is that Renee?
Renee's doing it. I might be on daddy duties, but
awesome.
I'll definitely be around for sure. Yep. I'll be popping my head in and going, "Hey, samplers."
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Have a nice night.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
See ya.